Hello everybody, this is Bobby Mills from theindependent.com with another version of Endzone Online. We're in the weight room at Wood River High School with one of the best in the business, Coach Jeff Ashby. How are you doing?
Thank you.
Hey man, it's great to have you.
Thanks for having me. No, we're doing all right so far.
Good. Just commenting how you never look a day older than 10 years ago. You'll have to show me where that fountain of youth is back there in those trees. So, 5 years here now? You just told me?
Yes.
3 at Wood River High School, and then 2 is the Wood River Shelton Silver Swords, is it? I can't.
Silverback.
Silverback. I can't get used to saying that. Wow. It's always been purple, and for years. So how are things going with the Shelton kids this year? How many kids do you have from Shelton participating in your program?
Okay, we have 22 of our own kids here at Wood River, which is a really low number for us, and then 10 from Shelton, so we have 32 total on our team, which is a pretty low number to be in C1.
I know it. I just wish that this team were C2, but you know, I've talked to a couple of C2 teams that are below that number, so.
Yeah.
But when you get knocking heads at C1, you know, the injury thing.
Right.
Can you scrimmage in practice?
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you can. You can't really get away without that. But so you've got 32 kids out for football. I'm sure the Shelton kids by now are used to playing the 11-man game if they've been here 2 years, right?
Oh yeah. It just, last year, it was tough for us to get together with the COVID and everything, so we had to come together right at camp time and stuff. So it's been a lot smoother this year.
Good. Yeah, last year you really never had a shot at it. Boy, talk about hitting the field cold.
So we know we know each other a lot better. And, the kids, know each other a lot better, and so it's a lot nicer.
Meshing pretty good.
Yeah.
So who's on your staff this year?
So, from Shelton we have Brian Robbins, who was the head coach for them before we consolidated. It was his first year there. He came from Alliance in North Platte. He'd been as an assistant coach. And then Ed Lowe helps out with our offensive line. Ed's a old coach. He's a retired guy that just loves football and keeps helping.
He does.
So they come over from Shelton. And then there's myself and Austin Ruskamp, who came to Wood River the same year I did, and he just now took over as our defensive coordinator as Clark Benny retired last year.
Oh boy.
After last year, so Austin took that over, and then I still have Phil Smith, and he's our receiver and backs, helps out backs, and does all of our scrimmaging, for our scout team, and he's really good for us there. He can simulate pretty much anybody's guy that we need to simulate. So, nice to have these young guys on, on the staff. And then our newest one this year is Josh Noose. He's an old Sutton kid, and he was the head basketball coach up at Central Valley.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. Noose is, boy, that's a household name in Sutton.
So he's helped us out this year, and it's good to have him on our staff.
Does he teach here at the high school?
Yeah, he teaches at the elementary.
Cool. Great. Yeah, that's a good addition. So the staff is, pretty coherent as far as, not coherent, but they're meshing pretty good as far as, they haven't been together 20 years, but still.
Yeah. It's a lot nicer than last year.
Yeah. What is it about sports, but.
Right.
So, is 8 starters correct for returning starters? That seemed high.
Yeah, no, we have like 4.
Yeah, because I'm wondering, when I saw that, I'm thinking, I don't think so. I couldn't name 8 starters.
Now, we had some guys that started here and there.
But that's what,
But full-time starters, and out of those 4, only 2 are playing the same position they did a year ago.
Ooh.
So, kind of moving around, but, athletic-wise, they'd be considered 4 starters.
So tell me about your offense. Did this Kronk kid just now start playing running back a week ago? Yeah,
we moved him from receiver
right.
to I-back last week, and last year he played a lot of quarterback for us.
That's what I thought.
As a freshman, just out of necessity, and the style of offense that we ran last year, but changing things up this year offensively, we went with Caleb Stewart as our quarterback. He kind of done some quarterbacking, but it just fit this offense a lot.
Yeah. Well, that kid ran pretty well last week, didn't he?
Yeah.
He almost had 100 yards, man.
Yeah. We they each back, we have, out of our 4 backs, he had 16 carries and the quarterback had 10 and the other 2 running backs had 11 each, so it's pretty well spread out.
Yeah, which really, I want to see somebody carry it 35 times for 300 yards, but the best way is the way you're doing it here.
Well, it worked out that way last week anyway, but, and then our passing game, our play action. Caleb Polk is our go-to guy.
Boy.
He's sprouted up to about 6'4".
Is he that tall now?
Yeah, great vertical jump and makes great plays and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of helped us out both on offense, both passing and running.
It's pretty. It's not too difficult to know that he'd be the go-to guy, man. He had a good. He's got a lot of yards this year for 3 games, I think. So good balanced offense. It sounds like to me. Are you doing 50-50? Of course, you can't hardly tell because each game is different.
Each game is different, so just, whatever the defense will give us, that's what we're going to take.
That's exactly right. And what about the defensive look? Same guys playing offense and defense, I'm sure, unless there's one guy specialized.
There's a few different ones, but we're in a situation right now, we can move some guys around and play. We play a lot of guys right now. We play a lot of freshmen. We play about 4 freshmen.
Why not?
And that are big guys. We're overloaded on the offensive defensive line side, which usually never happens. Usually you got a lot more skill guys.
Oh.
And this year we have a lot more linemen, which is really nice to have. And just, not a lot of skill guys. So we got to stay injury free on that side of it. And so it's working out pretty decent so far.
So, you've been at this a long time and done a heck of a job. If you were to start a football team, would your offensive line be a lot of guys say, well, I have a good quarterback, but for me it'd be an O-line, but you're the go, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is that where you'd go first?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
That's the first thing I'd draft is offensive linemen. We found out, last year that it didn't matter, how many plays you had or what plays you had, if guys up front don't block it, it's really not going to make any difference. So, and we were very fortunate coming into this year. We had 2 boys come out for football, 2 linemen come out for football this year that didn't play last year, 2 big guys. So that's really helped us, So that's been a nice addition.
This is the 2nd straight week I've heard that. Last week I heard about it in Aurora, and a bunch of linemen came out that hadn't been out in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And have you heard that?
Yeah, and I hadn't heard
a bunch of
that.
seniors, and I'm going, I don't know who exactly they are, but that is so good to see. Best game on the planet, man. So,
Yep.
I keep looking at this schedule. I'm glancing down, and we talked about it last year. You've already played 2 rated teams, and Holdridge last week, which must have been a great game. Did that go down the wire? It was a 21-20 game. I didn't hear about it.
Well, it was pretty disappointing.
Oh.
On our end, we'd led the game. They had 2 plays. They came out after halftime. We were up 14-7. We pinned them deep at the 15. They fumbled the first play. Thought we were going to recover it. Somehow their guy comes out with the ball and takes off for 93 yards for a touchdown. So that gave them one of those scores in the second half. And then the last one, we had elected to punt on 4th and 2 at our 45-yard line. Got them down, pinned them at the 19. And 2 of our guys got mixed up with their coverages, and the guy came open wide open for an 81-yard touchdown. So half of their offense was off of 2 plays.
I know, and that fumble, I watched that on film last night and thinking that wouldn't happen again.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, if you saw it, the kid, he should have been swarmed under.
Yeah, we had 3 guys right there to tackle him. I wish he wouldn't have fumbled it, and we just tackled him now.
I know it. If he wouldn't have fumbled, he would have been,
So that was disappointing because it was a game that kids played really well, and Boyd deserved to win it, but that's just the way the ball bounced that night, and we got to bounce back.
Well, maybe it'll bounce your way one of these times. But so tell me about. It was Kearney Catholic, and then Kozak, who's I don't think they're very good. Oh yes, they are. And Watovic at quarterback, but you still have St. Paul. Who's in your district?
St. Paul, Adams Central, Fillmore Centrals, and then we have Central City. At the end, that's a non-district game.
Yeah, and who? Have you practiced your pass defense lately? I mean, for Central City, I mean, St. Paul at 0-3, that's almost a joke because they've got to be the best 0-3 team in not only in Seabrook, but in the state.
Right. You know, and that's just it right now. We don't have any wins to show for it, but we're a lot better football team than we were a year ago, much better. You know, the Kearney Catholic game was 14-6 with only 2 seconds to go in the half, and they ended up kicking a field goal, making it 17-6, and then we had some breakdowns, you know, and ended up kind of out of hand at the end. And then Coes added it was 0-0 with 3 minutes to go in the game, or in the half.
Yes.
And again, a couple breakdowns, and so we had played 2 really good halves of football, pretty much. And then last week we played pretty well the whole game, and we had just 2 breakdowns last week. So we just gotta quit giving away those, you know, cheap touchdowns.
Well, it's better than long, sustained drives in my book, and you know, the team did look a lot better on film than they did a year ago, and so the progress is there. So are you able to play any freshman JV games, or do you have a? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you know, that's probably the most beneficial thing of the whole co-op is now these kids get to play JV games. You know, and we're pretty successful in those JV games, but you know, if we weren't together, they wouldn't have any JV games. We wouldn't have any JV games and things like that. Because like I said, we only have 22 here from Wood River out. And, you know, I don't think I was ever under 25 at Gilmer playing 8-man football. So, you know, and they would have 10 guys out, and they'd be playing 6-man football with, you know, just a couple subs, basically. Yeah, so it's been a good mesh for us.
Do they play baseball together in the summertime still? Or
no, I don't think so.
Okay. It's a good marriage to me it is anyway. Given Shelton probably wouldn't be, but Wood River Shelton seems to be a cool thing. So, do you have a little kids program, or do you go with somebody, another town to do? Well, yeah, are you with Donovan Trumbull?
Well, we started a youth tackle football league 3 years ago.
Okay.
And we participated in Grand Island. We were too late to get into somebody else's league, and we didn't want to do a lot of traveling and things like. We just want to learn the kids to learn the game of football.
That's right.
So we went over to Grand Island and played there for a couple of years, and you know, they've got, you know, they're just a little bit bigger than we are and stuff. So we didn't have a tremendous amount of success there. So we're going to just do our own thing here at Wood River. And then I thought, well, let me call Donovan, and theirs had kind of stopped, and they wanted to get something going. So we kind of combined together to play each other. So we're going to play about 5 Saturdays and just kind of rotate, and just so the kids can learn the game of football.
That's exactly right. How many years did the Omaha Metro kids not even know how to put on a pair of shoulders, or a set of shoulder pads before until they were freshmen?
Right.
You didn't have the money. You didn't play that club football. So when I heard about that in Donovan a week ago, I thought that is great. You don't have to go anywhere. You know how to play the game.
So we just keep it here, and you know, we play here at Wood River, and we'll play a couple in Donovan, and just, you know, nobody has to travel very far, and enjoy the game for about an hour and 15 minutes. And our first one was last Saturday, and it turned out great. So it was a lot of fun.
And it's tackle football.
Tackle football.
You know, we're not playing the whole thing off the side. So next home game for Wood River is who?
Donovan Trumbull.
Oh, wow. And then this week are you still on the road?
Oh, you mean this Friday is Donovan Trumbull.
Oh, okay. And then the next week,
Adams Central. Home game with Adams Central.
When's homecoming?
Fillmore Central towards the end of the year.
Okay.
Not October.
Some of these teams are playing homecoming in the opening game. I never heard of that, but anyway.
Yeah, I think just kind of your schedule, and you're trying to figure out when's the best time to do those homecoming things, and so we're having ours whatever date it is that we play Fillmore Central, October 8th or something like that.
Somewhere, but at least you don't have to. Didn't you have to play a game at Aurora this year, last year, or the year before?
A couple years ago against Donovan Trumbull because we had so much rain that Donovan's field was underwater.
Hey, let's play them all here, man. So, yeah, we're fortunate. This is a lot better to go. Jeff, thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate the time, and I know you're a busy man, but things are going well here. I wish you continued success, and keep up the good work.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we hope to get that first win.
Oh, I'm sure it's coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bobby Mills from the Independent.com, McKenna Lamry behind the camera. For the Independent.com and Endzone Online, we'll catch you next time on Endzone